I'm Rebecca Melanson, co founder of the Local Business Institute, and I'm joined today by Jim Hale of Get Geofencing for a very lively discussion on exploring geofencing. This recording was from a live virtual session on June 30th, 2025.
We do. But to sort of introduce me a little further, I work for a company headquartered in Los Angeles called GetGeofencing.com, and we are a global provider of geofencing technology and marketing. I work everywhere from big national global brands that we've all heard of down to mom and pop stores. And so it sort of runs everything there. And one of my goals, and Rebecca and Vicki and I have talked about this, is that we want to use this technology to help small companies. Geofencing has been a technology that large companies have used for years, often to the detriment of small business. And today's technology allows you to flip the script here with it, and so that's our goal today. So, what is geofencing? Uh, Geofencing, in its simplest terms, as I explain it to people, is a search engine, but it looks for one thing and one thing only. And that one thing is GPS locator codes in our phones. That's what it looks for. So what I do when I'm setting up a geofence is we put a virtual boundary around a location. That location could be a trade show, a conference. It could be a sporting event, a musical concert. It could be an office building. It can even be down to the household level. So we can go from very small to very, very large. And when someone with their GPS enabled phone walks inside that boundary, my technology recognizes a unique GPS locator code that all our phones have. No two phones have the same code. So once we attach to that code and it's inside this virtual boundary we set up and we detect the phone, then we can start sending our customers marketing messaging to that phone. And once the owner of the phone goes home, usually, and this takes us about 24 hours, but once they go home and they get on Wi-Fi, then we are aware of their IP address. And through a
This
technology
is a
called,
live class. Can we talk after?
sure. So once they go on Wi-Fi, then we are aware of other digital devices that phone holder uses. So that gives us access to their desktops, laptops, and streaming TV, and tablets also. So within a short period of time, the phone's a starting point, but after the short period of time, we will be aware of every digital device associated with that person. So how geofencing actually works. We define an area that we want to target. Uh, then we associate with that phone, and then we send a marketing message to that phone and other digital devices that the person has. So, how can you use this? We have a lot of companies I work with that will geofence their own store locations. The reason they do that is that they want an ongoing digital connection to the people who are actually physically shopping inside their store. We also have people who will realize that the easiest place to find their ideal customer is their competitors. Someone would not be a competitor to you if you did not share an ideal customer. So one of the best ways to do that, let's say you are a restaurant and you want to put your message in front of other people that are out dining, then you might want to geofence not only restaurants that say serve Italian, if you're an Italian restaurant, but other restaurants in your area, since they're drawing people who are clearly demonstrating they will go out to eat and they will pay money for the food and they enjoy a dining out experience. So you might want to geofence those locations and start running your ads to those people. One that we do a lot of is event geofencing. Uh, Short story. In a past life, I'm 68 years old, but in a past life, I used to be a wedding photographer. And Rebecca and Vicki have heard this many times. I'm acquainted with all the pieces and parts of the wedding game, of which there are many. And so, if you're a wedding photographer or a caterer or a salon or a honeymoon travel place or whatever, your ideal customer is brides. So therefore, I geofence in 2025. I'm geofencing 127 bridal shows nationally, and so local uh, wedding photographers and people who want to reach those brides, we can geofence the bridal show location because it's happening at a certain date and time, and we geofence the location where the bridal show is happening, and then we can start running our clients' advertising to the brides, and we will follow those people, those brides, for a 30 day period. So it's not just when they're at the show. We make the connection at the show, but then we are able to stay in touch with them for a 30-day period after the show. Uh, Another way we do it is neighborhood and time based. Your clients may live in certain neighborhoods, or your prospects. Um, let's say, for example, I'm working right now with a company in California that sells extremely high-end wrought iron gates and doors and stair railings. They do absolutely beautiful work. They're metal artists. So they have targeted several neighborhoods in the greater Los Angeles area that would be good customers for them. And so we are going out, and for that client, we are geofencing on an individual house basis the homes in these neighborhoods and connecting to them to serve their advertising for their wrought iron fence and artistic work.
And Jim,
So
before we move on, can I inject one thing?
inject.
Yeah, we are, I mean, we're here for small local business, right? That's what we do. And while we'll geofence competitors, we will not geofence another small local business. Our
True.
point here is not to, take another local business as customers. The point is to take some customers back from big business or customers who are just out there wandering around or going to events or things like that. And so we're not interested in being predatory to the very people that we all know and love, right? Small local business. So we won't do that. But all the other things are definitely open.
Yeah, let's say you're a family-owned business that does great Italian food. We do not want to geofence other small businesses. That's not the thing, but we will geofence Olive Garden.
Yay!
Yeah, so we will geofence Olive Garden. So thank you, Rebecca, for bringing that up. I had forgotten about that. So, all right, moving on to the next slide here, and I'm going through these real quick. Going back to the competitor geofencing. One thing that Rebecca and Vicki and I are doing is we're participating in an initiative that I'm launching called Small Business Fights Back. And the whole purpose of Small Business Fights Back is to look for those large chain businesses that you compete with that on budget you have no chance of competing with. And once we get through this presentation, I'll show you an active geofence that I'm doing that fits this mold. But small businesses that have a large brick and mortar competitor um, need to understand that with the geofencing technology, your competitor's marketing budget is actually your budget. Let's say that you are a dog groomer or a veterinarian practice, to name something. Uh, you compete with PetSmart and Petco stores. They offer in-house veterinarian services and veterinarian grooming services, and they attract about 400 people on average per day per store. Now, they spend a great deal of money getting people to their website and to their store, and that's a budget that a small business just simply does not have. But the point is, you don't need to have their budget. You can use their budget as your budget because what you can do is geofence the PetSmart and Petco locations, and for pennies on the dollar, start marketing your veterinary practice or your dog grooming practice to the people that are inside the PetSmart store.
Now you're talking.
Now you're talking.
Get those
So,
customers.
right. So understand that if, and this works only for businesses that have a large brick and mortar competitor, their marketing budget is your marketing budget. Just be smart. You can, and you can take advantage of them and encourage them to spend more because the more people they get to their store, that's the more prospects you can connect to. So,
You know,
competitor geofencing, it's a great tool, fantastic small business tool.
one of the many things that I love about geofencing is even as a consumer, we're all flooded with messages all the time through all of our possible outlets, right? I don't mind getting messages about things that I am a good customer for. Things that, if we want to use the pet example, I have a dog. I don't mind getting messages about things for dogs. What I don't want to get messages about all day long are things that I don't use, will never care about, not concerned about. And because geofencing can absolutely target your customer or your potential customer, let's say, the messages they're getting are very specific to them. And that just to me is a much better arrangement than being the recipient of everything on the planet.
Very true. Very true. Very true. We move on to the next slide. Now I've got two more after this one, and then I'll be done with this. We do a lot of geofencing of events. Um, think about it. If you go to a bridal show, you're not going there to buy a car. You're going there because you're interested in a wedding. If you go to a festival of some kind, if you go to a sporting event, you're there for a purpose. You're there because you have an interest in that. And so we do a lot of event geofencing. Share another quick story. We had some clients in the ladies' fashion and makeup space that wanted to reach the Taylor Swift audiences in her last tour. So we geofenced her concert locations all over the world and started running our clients' fashion and makeup ads to the Swifties. And the campaign was a huge success, just huge success. Now, the Taylor Swift did not know who these people were. She was not endorsing them in any way, but because the ads started showing up on the Swifties' digital devices that coincided with going to the concert, I think there was some probably implied, which wasn't true, but implied relationship. And so the campaigns just were incredible success. I personally never worked on a campaign that had the success rate this campaign did. It was amazing, absolutely amazing.
So they
So
really understood their customer.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's a key. That's a key to any marketing, and especially geofencing, is the definition of your ideal customer. It is essential, absolutely essential. I will oftentimes turn down an engagement because I know the client does not have a good handle on their ideal customer, and the campaign is going to fail, and it's going to be a waste of their money. So oftentimes, rather than go down that rabbit hole, I will turn the engagement down. Now, Rebecca has a program through Libby that will help you in great detail identify down to the nth degree the your ideal customer and what makes them tick and what they think and how to reach them and how to get inside their heads. And at some point in time, you need to talk to Rebecca and Vicky about that program. It is amazing. And so identify your ideal customer. It's essential, absolutely essential. But going to event geofencing, that could be anywhere from trade shows and conferences to music festivals, to sporting events. Yes, we do have clients that engage us to geofence the Super Bowl. We've got clients right now that are engaging us to geofence the Wimbledon tennis tournament going on. Uh, I do a campaign with a well-known, I can't disclose, but you'll figure out who these people are, a well-known Swiss luxury watchmaker that has identified people that attend PGA and professional level golf tournaments as potential great customers for them. So what we do for them is we geofence the VIP tents at these golf tournaments. And
Wow.
strangely enough, we also geofence the fixed base operators at the airports where they fly in their private jets. And the reason we do that is because the people who get off that jet get an ad from this watchmaker that shows one of their $40,000 watches on the wrist of someone getting out of their jet. So that's why we geofence
Wow.
fixed base operators where they fly into. So events, where people go is a great determinant of their interest and their intent. So we geofence uh, craft beer festivals. We geofence boat shows. Um, anywhere you start thinking about where your customers go, and you will find that usually birds of a feather flock together because they have a common interest, and you can geofence and connect to them where they go. It's a tremendous marketing tool.
Jim, we looked at, there was a trade show that we were looking at participating in and getting a booth until
Mm-hmm.
we saw the prices of the booths. Um, but when I look at the booth cost, the travel cost, all the costs associated with it, and realize that I could geofence the event for a fraction of that cost and
Exactly.
send people my messages. It's true. It's not shaking hands at a booth, but you don't get to shake hands with everybody who comes to those anyway. But for me, it seemed like what a great solution to reaching those people without spending, you know, $8,000 going and sitting at a booth for 2 days. So a great alternative.
Exactly. My bridal shows, I have a very large national travel agency that specializes in honeymoon travel, and they are headquartered in San Diego. But with the wonder of the internet and everything, they can work with a bride in Maine if they want to. So they geofence most every bridal show that I do, and but they never exhibit. So
Yeah.
they're simply geofencing the show. Now, I'll also say that there is great value in being an exhibitor and being having that face-to-face contact. So don't take what I'm saying to go, well, just ignore the shows. If it makes sense for you and if you can afford it and the logistics work and everything, it is a very valuable marketing tool to be an exhibitor in these shows. But with geofencing, you don't have to be an exhibitor. You don't even have to be there. All you have to do is geofence the location and connect to the cell phones there, and then you can start running your marketing message to it. So the final slide, and I'll get off this presentation. What's the small business advantage? Uh, it's very affordable. I'm running ads uh, for clients as low as 2 cents each. Now, these are digital display ads. They are clickable, which will go through to someone's website or preferably a landing page that reinforces the marketing campaign. But the ads are running for 2 cents a piece. I don't know how you get any less expensive than that. They're targeted. You're reaching exactly the right customer at the right time. They are highly targeted, so you're not wasting your ad spend on people that are not your customers. So think of it as billboards as you're driving down the road. You see them constantly, and but out of all the traffic going by, maybe a half of 1% of the traffic going by is actually interested in the subject matter that the billboard's posting. Uh, but there's such high volume that it makes sense and people do it, and so I understand that. Uh, Geofencing is highly measurable. Uh, every one of my clients receives access to a very in-depth dashboard system where you can literally see the campaigns as they happen. You can see the ads being served, and we track everything. And people will ask me all the time, well, how do I know this is working? Well, I can track when someone that we've served an ad to goes to someone's landing page or website. We know that. And we also put retargeting pixels on both the landing page and the website, so they are picked up and retargeted. And then if you are a store that has a physical location and you're geofencing another area, I can put another geofence around your store, which we in the trade call a convergence zone. And I can actually tell you when someone we've served an ad to physically walks in your store. And if you want to have a someone call you, you want a telephone call. That's the action you want them to take. We put a call tracking number on the ad that you're putting out, and that's simply a tracking number between you and your real phone number, so that when someone calls, that number is immediately forwarded to you. But the call tracking number, we can track the number of calls and who they're from. So we know that. So there's lots of ways to prove the return using this geofencing technology.
You
And
know,
the last,
Jim, the
yes,
targeting is great. I mean, I
hmm
don't know anything else that can target like this. You can target zip codes or you can target, you know,
hmm
whole towns, but I don't know anything else that can pinpoint targeting to a potential customer like this. But the tracking, most of us and most small businesses just broadcast messages and hope that they hit home, right? That we hope that they hit a certain number of customers and a certain number of people who are even considering being our customers. But it's a scattershot approach. And
hmm
sometimes you never know. You know, there's an old adage that says, I was in publishing for 30 years, so worked in advertising for a long time. There's an old adage that says, half my advertising works and half does nothing. If only I knew which half was which.
there you go.
That's really, you know, when you, a lot of times when you advertise, that's what you're doing. And to me, the fact that you can track a person back to my business is amazing.
It is. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So let me show you one more thing. I'll get off this presentation right here. And let's see. Let me go back to my screen share. And I wanted to show you something that I hope I have pulled up. Yes. Okay. Is everybody seeing this blue shape on their
Yeah.
screen?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to show you an actual geofence that I have running right now. And I've been running this one for about a year. As you can see up here, this is a Bass Pro Shop location in Bristol, Tennessee. Um, this Bristol is about 20 miles from where I'm sitting right now. And this Bass Pro Shop, I have been geofencing for about the last year. And it's part of a shopping complex. You can see the other buildings in the shopping complex over here in the parking lots. And by the way, I don't show it on this screenshot, but I'm also geofencing this area over here, but it's not showing up here. But this is Bass Pro Shop. Bass Pro Shop has about between Bass Pro Shop and Cabela's about 200 locations nationally. They have an annual marketing budget. The latest numbers I could get was 2023, but in 2023 they spent $100 million on marketing. A lot of money. And so what I have done is, and they point out, my geofencing system went out and to the county or city tax records, wherever it has to go, and found the actual plat lines of this property. And that's public info. So then we took those plat lines and made a geofence around that property. Now, I want to point out something else. I can, in other occasions I do this, I can literally take my mouse and go around the building here, and I can geofence just the building. I could exclude the parking lot if I wanted to. There's no reason on this one to do that. I can geofence a location and run my cursor around this building, and my geofence will be accurate to 18 inches. So when I say I can target a location, I can target within 1.5 feet of that location. If I want to target this building over here, I could do that. And I have geofenced that building within that location. Now, let's say that this building where my cursor is over here, let's say that is a conference center. And let's say that you are wanting to reach an audience that is in a conference center in ballroom A, which is the area that I'm imagining right here. Okay. I can go in and geofence ballroom A to the exclusion of everything else over here.
Holy cow.
So my targeting is extremely precise to 18 inches. So when I do this, when I say I'm targeting your audience, I'm targeting just your audience. You are not wasting not one thin dime on anyone that is not your ideal customer when we do this. And I will exit out of this and get down. And we have talked about basically geofencing locations. Very quickly, let me cover one more way of using geofencing, and that is using data. The geofencing platform I use is a company called Simplify. They are headquartered in Fort Worth, Texas. They are owned by the venture capital firm BlackRock. And so they have no shortage of money and brains, and they are truly a global powerhouse. Simplify laughs at the term big data. They laugh at that. I categorize them as a supermassive black hole of data. The amount of data they pick up from geofencing and the amount of data they buy is absolutely astounding. And so let's say, I'm just going to make this up here. It's going to sound absurd, but it's true. Let's say that in the Atlanta, Georgia area, that your ideal audience was college educated Asian American women that make 200,000 and more a year, that live in a $350,000 house or condo a year, have a credit score of 720 or better, have a car lease coming due in 6 months, have children, travel, smoke cigars, and plays golf.
Wow.
Now that's absurd. But now I can locate those people in the Atlanta area, and I can geofence them at a household level. So I can literally geofence their house. So that's how I can use data to determine an audience, an ideal customer. We're getting back to your ideal customer profile because that's essential for me to use this data. So how does that apply? Oftentimes, I will have people like college alumni associations or national charities that are going to do a fundraising mailer. And what they will do is they want to combine the print campaign with the digital campaign. So they will send me their mailing list. So then I will take that mailing list and enter it into my system, and the system will go out and geofence the individual houses that they're sending the postcards to. So that we now only have a print campaign, but we have a digital campaign coinciding together. And the return from the synergy of those two things is probably one of the most strong ROI return marketing campaigns you could ever do. It's amazing how it works. It's incredible. So, Rebecca, I'm going to shut up now.
every time we do this, every time we're virtually together and talk, I hear another amazing story. And the thrill for me is, as y'all can imagine, in the past, this has been horribly expensive, way out of the reach of probably 99.99% of the small businesses we all work with. And it's a thrill for me to be able to bring something to a small business. And as Jim mentioned, we have a product called Marketing Clarity that is a massive amount of research from just a few questions we ask of a business to then deliver the kind of data that Jim's talking about, who their customers are. Yes, it's all the demographic data, some of which they may know, but it's also the psychographic data. What are they worried about? What are their big concerns? What are they afraid of? What are they about to buy? Where do they vote? All kinds of information, which gives you inroads into where to find them. So we have chattered along long enough, and it's a lot of information. And I'm going to now say, surely y'all have questions. Anybody have questions about any aspect of this? Don't jump up all at once.
Jonathan, there you go, buddy.
Thank you guys for all this information.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So, as a print shop owner, basically every business owner is a potential customer.
Mhm.
How can we like target, like how would you guys go about targeting since I have a wide net that, every business owner could potentially need some printing?
Jim?
What I would do is think about in your market. There's probably businesses that have more of a need for printing than others. So I would be thinking of, okay, what businesses do uh, ongoing print campaigns? They may be catalog people. They may be um, charities. They may be fundraisers. Like I do work for national charities such as Ronald McDonald House and that sort of thing. So I would look for people who do more of an ongoing print need with that, and then I would probably I don't know if I'm overstepping my bounds, Rebecca, by saying this, but as a print shop owner, you could white label geofencing technology and offer this yourself. So it would be an extra revenue source for you and an extra way to connect your print customers in a combo of a digital and a print fashion, which this day and age works like a charm. So that would be
That's
something.
true. I would also geofence
Staples?
small businesses in your area, excluding other print shops, because that way, you're approaching small businesses, but you're not stealing customers from another small competitor. And
Except from Staples, we want to take them.
oh,
Exactly,
absolutely.
exactly.
Yes.
That's fair game. That's fair game. We
Staples,
want to do Staples. We
home,
want to do Staples.
go ahead. What is it? Office Depot, Staples. We want to rob all of their customers to come do their printing with you. That's for sure.
Yes, yes.
So
Jonathan, what type of printing do you do mainly? Is it
Literally everything.
okay?
Every type of printing, commercial, promotional item, custom apparel, business cards, flyers, everything.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right.
excellent.
Do you do any work with like events or printing for like conferences and trade shows and
Yeah.
festivals
Yes,
and
even for
fairs?
schools and stuff like that as well.
Okay. Uh,
Hey, Jim, when you mentioned bridal extravaganzas, if he does any kind of wedding invitations, he could geofence bridal events.
that would be great. Yes, geofence bridal shows and run your ads to the brides about getting their invites and everything printed through you. That would be fantastic. Absolutely. Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, thank you.
My brain
Right.
kind of locked up on that one. There you go. That's why it's good to have more than my feeble brain thinking at the same time.
And the way to use geofencing, or the ways to use, is almost endless. That's one of the big appeals to me, is that it has such a broad appeal because, as Jim said, you can do areas, you could do events, you can do households, you can do all kinds of fine tuning. Jim, this is the first time I heard about a portion of a building. That's pretty amazing when you know.
I can do a portion of a building, and Simplify is coming out with a technology probably in the next 3 or 4 months that if it's a multi-story building, I can pick out floors.
Oh my God.
So
Oh,
I can tell it I want the 10th floor, and I'll be able to do that. Isn't that crazy that you can do
and
that? Yeah.
I can guarantee you that everybody on this call and everybody you know has been geofenced. You just don't know it. So the
I will
technology
say
is out there.
I will say that's true because I'll share something with you. Uh, People are all aware of companies like State Farm and Progressive and all the others in the property casualty insurance game. And so when we see their ads show up when we're surfing around digitally, we're not surprised, and we see them on TV. But what you may be surprised about is how they get to you, because these companies geofence locations like Lowe's and Home Depot all the time. And the reason they do that is because you're driving a car there, which they want to insure, and you're going to get something that has to do with your home or property, which they insure. And their statistics show insurance companies are big data people too. Their stats show that if you are interested in keeping your home improved, you are also a better insurance risk.
Makes sense.
So they geofence home improvement store parking lots on a regular basis. So you may be seeing, Jake from State Farm showing up on your TV and your digital devices and whatever, but you may not realize the reason you're seeing it is because you shopped Home Depot and Lowe's.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah,
So Jim, for someone like myself that has a holistic wellness practice, it's hypnosis and it's homeopathic medicine. How would I target a competitor?
I think in your line of work, and I've never worked with someone in that field exactly, so this will be new ground for me. But I'm sure there are people going to traditional medicine that you would like to redirect them into your field.
Yes, because a lot of the calls that I get are people that have tried therapy and they've been on medication and they're just not getting the results that they want. So eventually they find me. So does that, yeah. So how would I target those people that are seeking something else than the conventional methods?
One of the first things I would do is geofence medical groups,
Mm-hmm.
because they're coming to you because they're not satisfied with what traditional medicine is doing for them. So go to where those people go. I'll geofence, medical groups, family practice medical groups. I will geofence OBGYN practices. I will geofence orthopedics.
Mm-hmm.
Those will be the medical ones that I would be interested in doing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would also be looking at, okay, where do people who are interested in your medical practice, where do they go? Do they have festivals? Do they have gatherings? Um, is Liz, is what you do regional or national, or what's the scale of your?
Um, I was thinking of this doctor who does wellness retreats, and he's very, very well known. I thought, how could I piggyback off of that? His name is Dr. Joe Dispenza,
Okay,
and he does, like I said, week-long retreats, and he has a huge following. So someone that does those retreats, they do maybe about 6 of them a year globally.
okay. So these are physical retreats where people go and
Yes.
spend a week there.
Yes. So he teaches meditation. He teaches how they can ascend.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Geofence the retreats.
Uh-huh.
Geofence the retreats all day long. All day long. Geofence those retreats. Those are people demonstrating by the fact that they're going there,
Mm-hmm.
they are attuned to your message. They would be very receptive to your message. So
So
that's what I would do.
so even though that they are global, I'm in Los Angeles, so they're let's say they're doing a retreat in Florida, how would that work?
You would geofence the retreat location in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
and you would start running your ads for your practice,
Mm-hmm.
starting with the phone to the people that are there. Now they may be there for a week, but you're going to follow them for a month.
Mm.
So you'll be on top of mind for them well after they leave the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, very soon you'll be connected to their tablets and streaming TV and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you will have a complete digital 30-day connection to the
Mm-hmm.
people at that retreat, and they are demonstrating by the fact that they're there that they are not looking
Mm-hmm.
for traditional medicine. They are looking for something different. They're looking for something better.
Mm-hmm.
So you put together a very well done landing page uh, for what you're now. Are you trying to sell them or market to them consultative services or products or what's your
Yes, a program that includes hypnosis and the homeopathic medicine. So this is a 9-week process where we're working together. So we're peeling off the layers of stuff from them. So
okay?
it's coaching as well, you know.
Okay, so you're trying to market to them your class and coaching services.
Coaching, yes, home hypnosis, everything.
Okay. I would say if he's drawn, I'm assuming if he's a national figure, and would I be safe in assuming that his week-long retreats are not cheap?
No, they're like around the 2000 plus range for the week.
Okay. So the people coming there demonstrating that they do have money.
Yeah,
Okay.
find it, they get it, they have it.
Okay. Uh, I'm assuming
Yeah.
you're not against connecting to people that have money.
Absolutely not. Looking
Okay.
for, trying to find those,
Okay. All
the
right.
resourced ones.
I like that. The resourced ones. I've never heard the term that way. I like that one. So yeah, I would absolutely I would geofence everything he does.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And Liz, I don't know of another way that you could gain access and contact to the people taking these retreats, unless this guy shared the list with you, which he's not going to do.
No.
That's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
I don't know of another way other than geofencing that you can reach those same people who have self-identified by going to his retreat.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That was just an idea I had that, I could reach more of my target audience,
That would definitely be your target audience.
Mm-hmm. So
And
Absolutely.
what do you
you
do
know
about
what?
these?
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. Like, what do you do about not irritating these people, and saying, "Oh, they're gonna disable the tracking."
Okay, I'll be happy to address that. The only way, okay, the way that this technology works is that you have to have GPS turned on your phone.
Mm-hmm.
If you have GPS turned off, my system will not pick
Mm-hmm.
you up.
Mm-hmm.
However, never fight human nature. It's a losing cause. Never fight it. 9 out of 10 people have GPS turned on their phones because number one, they want the local weather without having to
Mm-hmm.
tell the weather people where they are. They want to be able to go and do a search for local pizza near me.
Yeah.
And so they want to be able to do that without telling the phone or the app they're using where they are. So 9 out of 10 people have GPS turned up on their phones.
And that's
Now,
the location on their phone.
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
when I geofence a location, one thing I neglected to say is what I'm geofencing is the public, and notice I'm using the word public airspace above that location.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same airspace your radio signals go through, your TV signals go through, even the cell phone microwave stations, the relay stations go through. There is no property deed in this country, be it residential or commercial, that gives the property owner control of the airspace above their location. Now, can you imagine your local radio station having to negotiate signal overflight with every property owner in their market?
Wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't happen. It'd be a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So what this technology does is it picks up in the public airspace above a location, it picks up your cell phone GPS locator ID. Now, when I pick a phone up, because of privacy regs, I know that phone only by its cell phone ID. I do not know the name of the person that owns that phone. I can't call that phone. So I don't know the phone number. All I know is that GPS locator code. That's all I know. And that's all I'm allowed by privacy regs to know. So I do not know the names of the people whose phones I'm picking up at a bridal show. All I know is I've got a phone with an encrypted GPS locator code about this long. That's all I know about it. I do not know it's Bessie Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know their names. And
Well,
I can't
Jim,
call.
Mm-hmm. And how do you
yeah,
figure out
Colin,
like the best times, to send these notifications out? Like, do you test, like A/B test?
Yes, we would do testing, and oftentimes our data will show when a group tends to be more active on their phones searching. So our technology takes note of that. But no, I can take the ads that we send and I can attach a cadence to them. Do you want to reach people? Is it, in the afternoons or when, I can target the timing of the ads to whenever you think may be best. I have clients who think it's best to reach people after work when they're home and relaxed and not thinking about work anymore. So that's the time we run the ads.
and Jim, that segues into a question. We're about to run out of time, but Marianne had a question in the chat that I wanted to answer about the 30-day period. Marianne, obviously for a business if they had an event or some reason, a season, it's a big month for them, they would want to schedule these 30-day period during that time. You can absolutely run this all year long. And there's nothing magical about the 30 days except, Jim, correct me if I'm wrong, that we can't lock into their device for more than 30 days at a time. So it has to
Sure.
regenerate every 30 days. That's why we made our initial offering a 30-day campaign. And what we provide is 30 days with 100,000 impressions. So if you do this and it just works amazingly well and you want to do more, you can do another 30 days and another 30 days and another 30 days. But each time it will be regenerating the connection.
Thank you for that. My clarification was actually for shorter periods of time, like much shorter. So you'll know where I'm going with this, Rebecca. Tourists.
Yes, yes. And Jim, we've never discussed actually a shorter time. Is a shorter time possible or?
I can go out to 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to run, I have campaigns where people want to blast ads out for a very short period of time, say a week. Say I'm doing a grand opening for a restaurant, and they want to blast our target audience the week before the grand opening. So I can start throwing those ads out there. So I can do it. So think of it as up to 30 days.
Do you have an example of what the ad looks like? So Because I'm a visual person.
Uh, well, the first thing I would do is say to you is when you're surfing on your phone and looking at the ads, start paying attention to those ads and try to figure out which ones appeal to you and which ones don't and why. That's a lot of free education there to look at that. Uh, and Liz, it's hard to do that because ads look different for a clothing campaign as they do a person
Yeah, I
selling
just wanted
tractors.
an example of what you do. Doesn't matter you know, what it is. I mean, it could be flooring. I just wanted to see an example.
Well, I'll be happy to email you something. I would have to get the okay from my client to send it out, but so I'll be happy to connect with you and send you some ads.
Liz, you want to drop your email in the chat so we can do that?
Okay, let's see. I'll do that.
And we are at the hour, and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. So first, I appreciate y'all being here today and
Yes,
hearing
thank you.
this amazing service. And Jim, thanks for a great detailed presentation. I hope y'all are all leaving this with a better understanding of what geofencing is and how it might be used. And here at the Local Business Institute, we call her Libby, LBI. We love that she has a female name for short. We're here to help you achieve this in multiple different ways. So I put my email in the chat for those of you who don't already know me.
I
And
just put mine in the chat too, Rebecca.
please do. And contact us and we'll help you get started. Thank you for joining us today on Exploring Geofencing. We're here to help you take advantage of this astounding technology. So contact us today to see what we can do for you.